Hello, everyone. This topic of happiness is a fascinating topic, and the famous Greek philosopher Aristotle said famously, we human beings, we do everything for happiness. And it means our aim, our purpose, our need is for happiness. And so any choices we make, little choices, whether we sit here or we sit there, whether we talk to someone or not talk to someone, whether we eat something or not eat something, whether we say certain things or not say certain things, deeper motivation behind is that we want a feeling of well-being. We're looking for happiness. But this need for happiness is such that it could even make us do wrong things. And we go for quick, short term excitements, which may bring long term problems. And this is where a certain sense needs to come in, a certain wisdom needs to come in. But there is a fascinating area within the world of medicine that has been becoming increasingly popular the past 20 some years, especially within the field of uh, psychiatry and psychology, which is the area of positive psychology. Now, for many, many, many decades, uh, the focus had been more on depression and on psychosis and mental health problems. And at some stage, few of the famous or well-known psychiatrists and some psychologists, they started to think in a different way. And they started to think we should be more aware of what is going on in people's minds when they are happy. What are the factors that create a certain well-being and happiness? And one project of research which was very interesting is about what they had asked what's it, young adults around the age of 18, 19, 20, what they think makes them happy. And very interesting things they say. No, they, the, and it is in line with certain general beliefs that the general population also holds. They think wealth, for example, they want to be rich or they want to be famous. That is another one thing. They think they want to be famous, they want to be well known, they want to have a good position, a high position, uh, and do everything for that. Or the thought is that beauty and physical appearance, they want that because we think that makes us happy. Or some sense pleasures, some sense indulgence, and some sense pleasures. These are like big categories of statements that in this group of younger people, 18, 19, 20 years old, who were asked, what would make you happy? What you think makes you happy? What do you want in your life? These are the things they mention. And observation, interesting observation actually, in that same kind of project is that People who have all that, people who are rich, people who are famous, or people who do have high positions, or do have physical beauty, or do spend their time in sense pleasures, drinking, watching certain things. Uh, their mind does not necessarily experience any more happiness than someone who doesn't. Someone who is rich is not necessarily more happy than someone who is just middle class, or someone who is famous doesn't mean they are more happy than someone who is not famous. Someone who has a beautiful physical appearance is not necessarily more happy than someone who doesn't have that. And so, what generally is thought would make us happy, and what puts us in a pursuit of those things, high position, when we get it or when we have it, we are not more happy because of that. And if we look at the world in general, and especially Western society, the past 50, 60, 70 years, there has been a huge boost in economic growth, especially after the Second World War, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and now huge technological growth. And so many different possibilities and facilities and technological improvements all over. But it is not that happiness is on the increase. Actually, mental health problems are on the increase. Depression is on the increase. Suicide is on the increase. Domestic violence is on the increase. Addictions are on the increase. So all those things that we think or believe, consciously, subconsciously, uh, make us happy, they are not really making us happy. Definitely not more happy. So we are maybe looking at the completely wrong direction, and we are pursuing things that are maybe even giving us more problems and more stress. Now, one other project that had been done in terms of looking into people's mind and what is going on, uh, dividing human attitude in three categories. Now, one is the category of takers, one who has the attitude of taking, one who has an attitude of giving, and the other category is of havers. And so the first category, they are happy when they take, when they can take something, when they can get somebody to give them things, then they are happy. Others are when they are giving. In the giving, they are happy. And the third is they are happy, they think they are happy, and they are happy because they own things. And when they observe the minds and the dominant emotions within those three categories, the first one, the takers, they are always in a mode of either worry and anxiety or complaining. They want to take, so they worry whether they can get, or they are complaining that they don't have enough. And the taking and giving is not only at the physical level. Sometimes it's about, I didn't get enough respect. I didn't get enough attention. I didn't get anybody to love me. That taking attitude. And havers, those who have, and they're always protecting what they have. So they're always worried that they might lose something. Their anxieties and their worries is about losing what they have. So everyone and everything is perceived as a potential threat. Now the givers, they have observed they are the ones who are usually in a mindset of a certain self-confidence, a certain self-respect, but also they are happy. They are, amongst all the three, they are the happiest. What has been observed is that those who are the happiest are those who give. And this is kind of interesting to know. Regardless of circumstances, regardless of life situations, those who have an attitude of giving, an attitude of collaborating, an attitude of cooperating, they are the happiest compared to havers and compared to givers. And that uh, giving has this kind of uh, deeper magical result. There is a deeper sense of respect for self. And this giving is becomes even more powerful when it is done anonymously. So not to some friends or relatives, because then there is the calculation what they will give me back. But this selfless, unconditional, better yet even anonymous giving. And giving can be done silently also. It is not only about I'm giving you something physically, but giving can be done through thoughts, thoughts of appreciation, thoughts of respect, thoughts of love, thoughts of cooperation. Even a smile can be giving. And this is an invitation for you to experiment with it. Experiment with this in your own life. Observe when there is the giving mode, when there is the taking mode, when there is the having mode. Having is like me, my, all the time, this chant going on. That is easy way to make the self miserable. Taking is the easy way to be anxious and stressful. Always looking for what can I get here? How can I get it? Whilst using life as a way to give, to share, to cooperate, to empower, to see beauty, to encourage, an attitude of giving. This is one big secret in happiness. So this is an invitation for you to experiment with that. Give away your your smile. Give away your appreciation and your respect. Help uh, where someone who you don't know needs it. And if you want even more happiness, then give that what you have a little attachment to. So say the, if if there is some chocolate and you want to eat chocolate, at that time if you give it away to someone you don't know and who hardly gets chocolate, observe the feeling inside. If you eat that chocolate, you will be happy, yes, for 10 seconds. But if you give it away to someone, you will be happy after 10 hours still. And if you think back to that episode after a day or two, you will still be happy. But if you eat it and you think back, you will feel guilty. Why did I eat so much chocolate? So this attitude of giving away, experiment with it. Make it like a little project in your own life. And meditation comes in because meditation is the practice of this mindset where you emerge within the self, your own beauty, and this attitude of benevolence. So let's have some minutes of deeper reflection and coming back to that essence of self, that nature of fullness, completeness from where one easily gives. Let's use the power of concentration and the power of perception, perceiving that there is a visible physical dimension and there is an invisible non-physical dimension. And concentrate on this understanding that the real self is this complete, timeless, invisible being of consciousness who is innately a being of peace, a being of love, free. In potential, there is greatness and beauty and truth. And all that blocks us from accessing that beauty and truth is ego and falsely identifying ourselves as needy mortals, physical human beings who lack all kinds of things. This human physical frame is just a vehicle and a part that is temporarily being played out. But the player, the actor, is the invisible soul, the real self. And just reinforce this awareness using the image of a star, living light, timeless, free, secure, living light, operating from the center of the forehead, behind the eyes, the soul, who is innately peaceful, imperishable, living light. And as this living light continues to play the game, know that the highest game we can play is to be in the attitude of giving with wisdom, but with the intention to enrich and empower, to bring benefit, long-term benefit to all involved. Thank you.